Hello, good morning. In this class, let us look at systems implementation stage. So we are going to handle hardware and software acquisition, software development, testing of all programs and procedures, conversions of the systems as well as the data resources, and also educating employees and other users related to the operations of the system. So as in this stage, we are concentrating on actual working or the operational system. We are going to employ some of the project management strategies. So as you know that project management itself is a quite big topic. That means it is a separate subject. But here let us look at some of the necessary steps in the process of system implementation. So in project management, we identify a project as a series of steps, or you can say phases. So especially in the implementation stage, we will consider this project management techniques. So even the SDLC is also you can consider as a project management method, especially for design and development of information systems. So when we talk about design and development, so we have to look at project management concepts, techniques, as well as the tools involved with it. Because we need to complete our project within the budget as well as within a time frame. So good project manager has to translate their ideas in a project environment with the help of people who acquired certain skills and knowledge related to the concerned area. So generally every project has a set of goals, objectives and tasks. Every project must deal with a set of you can say restrictions or limitations or constraints in it. So project is a set of you can say a special set of activities with clear beginning and end. So three elements will be necessary to manage a project effectively and efficiently. So they are process, tools and techniques. In the project management approach, it has been identified as 5 different phases. That means we are identifying our entire process of project management in 5 phases. So problem definition, identifying the objectives, securing the resources, exploring the costs benefits. So as we done in feasibility analysis in SDLC. So all these factors are getting involved here. The first phase of project management, you can say initiating and as well as defining the activities. It is almost quite similar to systems investigation phase in the SDLC. We should have clear statement of the problem and objectives that the project is to achieve. So this should not contain any confusion or ambiguity, because so we should be clear about our definition of the problem or the statement, because even some of the best projects may lead to disasters if you don't take the proper step in the definition of the problems as well as identifying the goals or objectives. During this phase, it is necessary to identify and secure all the resources necessary to execute the project. We have to explore the costs as well as benefit and identify any risks that are associated with the project. In the next phase, we are considering the second phase, the planning of the project. So it involves identifying sequence of activities and the paths that involved in the project, and we have to estimate the time as well as resources for the completion of the project. So we have to give a detailed project plan here. So here, goals as well as every activity associated with the objective to be identified with a sequence of activities. All such sequence of activities that are taking place must be identified. To identify such sequence of activities, we are using several special tools for project management to plan and sequence the activities associated with the objectives of the project. So some of these tools involve program evaluation and review. You might have heard about PERT, that is program evaluation and review. Say some of the diagramming techniques are also being involved. Different types of charts are being involved. Especially for timing diagram, we may use different types of graphs showing the time requirements to complete the project. So you may use Gantt chart, and some of the tools like critical path method you can use. Many type of diagramming as well as some of the tools that helps the project manager to determine how long the project activity will take and how long it is going to be accomplished with our resources, present resources as well as present cost. So next stage or the phase is execution phase. So you can say while executing the project, this is the very interesting phase because our plans are getting some movement here. So in the SDLC system analysis and design phase, we know already. So these phases you can compare to the execution phase. So here in the systems implementation phase, we are using these project management ideas because we want the actual working system or the operational system. To manage this properly, we are using several techniques including project management techniques. Once all these activities in the planning phase are completed and all detailed plans have been created as well as approved, we can start this executing process. So here resources, tasks as well as the schedulers all are brought together and necessary teamworks are created here and they are assigned with certain paths to be handled in the project. And also we have to commit all the resources to specific tasks, and we have to add any additional resources required, or if you want you can add any further job positions or any other persons if required. So this activity is almost, you can say, a very interesting activity as our plans are getting some movement here in the execution phase. So next phase is about the controlling Controlling means it is an integral part of execution phase of project management, but sometimes we consider it as a separate phase. That means we can view it as a separate set of activity. So we should ensure that the project objectives as well as deadlines related to the project are met correctly. To ensure that, we are using this separate phase of controlling. So here we are producing several reports to assist the project control. For example, a report called variance report, which contains information related to the difference between the actual and the planned process, I mean to say the project progress. That means it involves the information how the project is progressing and what is the difference between the actual progress and the planned progress. So it involves such information. So we have to identify certain aspects related to our project which may cause the project delay. And some of the other reports, for example, a report known as status report. Using this report, a project manager can have the idea where the delay of the project began, so that they can create a plan to get rid of that, as well as making up the delay, that means the lost time related to our project. So sometimes unnecessary factors are there which may cause the disturbance to our project and our project may get delayed. So we have to identify such situations and the reasons by analyzing this type of reports, which is known as status report. Another report called resource allocation report. This report identifies the various resources. Resources means human resource, tools or equipments, and other reports related to the project. So how many resources are being used in specific project activities? So what is the current position of use? So what are the unused resources and how many additional resources are available? So all these information can be obtained in the resource allocation report. So all such reports as well as the ideas helps us to control the project, because we need to complete within the cost, within our budget, as well as within a time schedule to meet our deadline requirements. So that is why controlling can be a part of your project, that means a part of execution phase, or here we are considering it as a separate phase or separate set of activities. Our next phase is the closing phase. That means we have to bring a successful end to our project, which involves delivering of all the tools or equipments or the necessary hardware and software resources, finalizing the commitments with the management, meeting the stakeholders and giving the ideas related to the project, completing of project documentation as well as reports by releasing all the project resources. So here the beginning as well as here the final step, the end of the project. It is the implementation and the installation of all project deliverables. So next we have to review the final project documentation and publish it as a final project report. So here we should report all the positives and the negatives that are happened in the project and the elements necessary for post project review should be identified here, so that we can proceed with the project review, later project reviews. So all these project management phases support us for a better system implementation.